10 toes never fold out to win them boys were better red.
I need my hands. Let's
go. Street pro, bottom line. Flow, canteen, hot take, J&O. Sports professor, you know. Street professor back again, it's game time. A la playa, no playtime, it's play guy. Cause we ain't talking about practice like AI. Sports professor spit the best takes out like AI. Artfully intelligent, I can't write mine. Rhyme citing your girl's DMs like Messi after the goal time. That was a triple entendre, did you catch me rambling? Flipping Simone Biles, we the bottom line champion.
I need my hands.
Let's go. Street pro, bottom line. Flow, canteen, hot take, J&O. Sports professor, you know. Yo, street professor, I'm back, baby, like I never left. Bottom line, flow, canteen, hot take, J&O. Street!
Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. Yeah, these championship rings on my hands now. In my head I'm top 10, yeah, that's hands down. You a squad, know you're looking man down. Funny how foes turn to friends now. Drive a race car like a Atari now. Call filling up, I need product again. Treat the business like a playground, might slide on you. Do me wrong, might slide on you. Do a backflip, cause I'm mad rich. I'm the definition of what that is. Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. I'm a warrior, I go back to back, then go back to back. If I top the top, then I double back, and I'm topping that. Yeah, I beat my own records. Yeah, I gotta get money fetish. Same team, I don't set trip. Never dull, this electric. Went and put the Ricks on my toes. Me and bro, that's the give and go. Stay 100, end zone. Keep them coming. I know. I won't flood my wrist, no, I'm not dumb like that.
Yo.
I just wanna give my mama 100 racks. Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. Touchdown like the end zone.
What up?
What up, man?
Welcome to the Bottom Line Sports Show.
Go home.
Time to go hard or go home. Bring everybody on the Facebook group, all the shows in the live on X, Facebook,
Funny how foes turn to friends now.
we here, baby.
Woo.
I like my ring dog. I'm Flo.
WLS, man.
And seeing that guy in the corner down there. That's Ballin' Buds Only. The Sports Professor.
Let's go, baby. We here.
We here.
The Bottom Line Sports.
Otherwise known as Professor Semejante. Semanajante. Sorry. Yeah, we're missing Hot Take Jake. I don't know where he's at.
I'm a warrior, I go back to back, then go back to back.
Go back to back.
If I top the top, then the double back, and I'm topping that.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Hey, episode 146. Appreciate everybody on my Facebook group. Go find us at The Bottom Line Sports. The Bottom Line Sports. We're also coming on the Let's Talk Sports Network. You're on that. Give us a like, share, comment.
I don't know what's going on.
Join the conversation. Okay. Join the conversation. Omar will be back soon. Let us know what you think. Ball and Buzz. That's Omar's channel that he runs, Ball and Bud Sports Entertainment. You can also catch Hot Take Jake over on the Final Say podcast over on YouTube. Him and his two buddies, Matty Ice and Juan, I believe. I don't know if Juan has a name, cat's name or something. I don't know. I know it's Juan and Matty Ice and then Hot Take Jake. So. Yeah, welcome to the show. Just on all these platforms. Let me bring it down for Canteen.
Hey, man, that is the best.
Bring it down.
The best.
Yeah, bring it down.
That's like the best background music.
He loves it. Yeah, almost 2,000. We got 1,900 on the Facebook group. Go catch us there with all your friends.
Hey, man, 2250 by Super Bowl, man. We got to get at least 400 more.
Super Bowl.
So
also, you can. I always forget to mention this, but you can also catch us on the Sunday Surge. NFL Sunday Surge every Sunday, 6:30, 6:45 Central, 7:30 Eastern. We catch all your Sundays, recap all your games, and we preview Sunday Night Monday Night Football. Today we're gonna recap Sunday Monday Night Football, but that show it's all NFL. Here we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We have the professor drop in his mixed bag. We have all kinds of. Sometimes we throw a little hockey in there. Sometimes we do a little baseball. All kinds of stuff going on, but
yeah,
catch us on the Sunday NFL Sunday Surge. Okay, all right. Catch us there on Sundays. We'll get your all NFL action, all NFL on the same channels. Let's Talk Sports. Also on Ball and Buds, and also on the Bottom Line Sports Network. On all those platforms. Let's see if Jake comes in. If not, we'll just carry on without him. I don't know what happened. Maybe he's caught up in the Frito-Lay land.
Man, nobody's eating Frito-Lay chips on Thanksgiving, so I don't want to hear that excuse about he throwing.
I don't know. Hey, people be buying those Fritos, those Frito pies, and potato chips
on Thursday.
I don't know, man. Maybe he caught in the bin. The big bin. He got caught in the big bin, and he's just tumbling in there. So y'all pray for Jake. Maybe he's caught up in the bin, the Frito-Lay bin, or they sell potato chips too.
I hope so. That would be hilarious.
Chips.
I hope he gets caught in the bin. I hope he gets caught in the bin and never finds his way out. Stay there, you bum.
Oh man, hey, he want to cook you bad, Omar. Hey,
he was ready for you Sunday, man. He was
crazy Sunday, man.
He was a little disappointed.
He went kind of left Sunday night, man.
He went and left kind of sad. He's like, Omar, where's Omar? He's not gonna show up.
He had a win, so he'll be all right. Yeah. He had a win, he'll be all right.
Yeah, he left like this. He was so disappointed. He's like, "Where's Omar?" Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure you would have cooked him. You would have cooked him too if y'all would have won. So for sure. But anyway, yeah. Welcome everybody. Hey, we always like to start off since we've missed the professor. I think in the last couple of shows. But we always like to start our show with the sports professor's mixed bag. All right. So right now, here we go. It's the sports professor's mixed bag.
Yeah, welcome. This mixed bag today is going to be very lady-centric. We are going to shout out the ladies in this mixed bag. First of all, let's give a shout out to my UCLA Lady Bruins who snapped the South Carolina Gamecocks 43-game
win streak,
demolishing Dawn Staley's Gamecocks by 15.77 to 62. This is the Bruins' first ever win over a top-ranked team and showed that there is real competition this year against South Carolina.
Wow. Nice.
Also, in other women's news, Gino, let me make sure I get this name correctly. Gino Titikul is from Thailand. She's a rising LPGA Tour star in golf, and she won the Ladies PGA Tour Championship at I think she's 23, 20. She's young 20s. I missed the
young 20. Okay.
But anyways, she won the LPGA Championship, a prize of $4.3 million to go with her other winnings this year of a total of $6 million for the young lady. So way to go. Shout out to her. Also, the Orlando Pride of the National Women's Soccer League won the league championship, defeating the Washington Spirit 1-0 in the league championship. So shout out to all of those ladies making strides, winning games, and a retirement shout out to U.S. women's goaltender Alyssa Nair, who announced her retirement just yesterday. And then a couple of men's news before we get out of here for the day. First of all, we want to give. I got a real funny one that I just thought about at the end that made me laugh. But we're not there yet. I got to get through the other ones first. So, anyways, geez, I lost my spot now. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh yeah, MLB awards. So the MVPs were given out. Shohei Ohtani in the NL, with the Dodgers. Aaron Judge in the AL with the Yankees, as we expected. And then for the Cy Youngs, Tarek Skubal from the Detroit Tigers won the AL Cy Young. Chris Sale from Canteen's Atlanta Braves won the NL Cy Young. So shout out to those gentlemen and all of those wins. And then we got moved to MLS playoffs. The MLS playoffs will feature the LA Galaxy versus the Orlando City. That will be starting this week. Two more notes. One, we got to mention Dan Hurley acting a straight fool over a foul call that he decided he wanted to be a gymnast at, or fall on the ground taking a LeBron-sized flop. Fool, stop playing around. All right, you're a championship coach. You don't need to scoop down to those antics. All right, just be the good coach you are and stop that BS. And then finally, a sad note, Around the Horn, ESPN, one of my favorite shows of all time, will be going off the air next year. ESPN, I know you're watching.
The whole network?
No, not the whole network, just the show Around the Horn.
So you're talking about Around the Horn, like with Courtney Cronin?
Oh, Around the Horn. Guys? Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, Around the Horn will be ending next year. And then hopefully we're not losing PTI either, but those gentlemen obviously are not at a ripe age anymore. I love Tony and Michael. So anyways, it's a sad time, and I'm just here to tell you, ESPN, I know things move on, and the sports professor is here for you. I can do a show for you. It can be an awesome show. We can put it together, really good ideas, things like that. Just reach out to my agent at Ball and Buds.
We can. Hey, we can fill in. Hey, Around the Bottom Line or the Bottom Line crew. Yeah, we'll fill in. We can fill in for you. That's Around the Bottom Line Horn. We'll just do what Jake did and just play off of their show's name.
Just move on. You already ruined it. Just move on.
And that was
all right.
The Sports Professor's Mixed Bag. Okay. All right. So appreciate it, Sports Professor. And before we move on, a quick shout out to Rafael Nadal, who retires from tennis. One of the great.
Thank you. That was the one I forgot. Thank you, Flo. I appreciate you.
He owned the French Open. He had something like 14 French Open titles. I mean, that was his second home. Won a couple of Australians, a couple of Wimbledons, and then I think 4 U.S. Opens. Yeah, shout out to Rafael Nadal for a great career at 38. He just couldn't do it anymore. I think he upset. When he was young, one of his first tournaments, he upset, was it Federer when he was the number one ranked way back in the day. So shout out to Rafael Nadal for all the tennis people out there who like tennis and who enjoyed that sport. I enjoy it every now and then. I just, I don't get around to it as much as I used to, but yeah, I still enjoy a good round of championship tennis. All right.
For those of you who like the hockey or the baseball, Flo was playing good backup there, or made a nice save. As that was the one I forgot was the Rafael Nadal. So I appreciate you backing me up with the save there and coming in clutch there.
You're my guy. You're my guy. I'm here to help as however I can. All right, so yeah, there we go. That was for the Professor's Mixed Bag.
Mixed bag.
Let's talk a little NBA action. So a couple of times.
Oh, are we not doing? Are we not doing the hockey thing anymore? I thought y'all wanted.
Well,
to do
I
that.
didn't know if I thought you would mix it in, but you got some hockey stuff.
I do have a couple big pieces of news.
Okay, drop.
First of all, Alex dropped the puck. That's pretty good, actually. Alex Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals will be out 4 to 6 weeks. He has been having an amazing season. As some of you know who watch hockey, he is chasing Wayne Gretzky for the all-time goals record. And at the pace that he was going this year, he had a chance to break it. Now with this, it's not going to happen. Going to have to wait until next year. Hopefully, he'll still be able to come back and add to that. I say that as a Wayne Gretzky fan, but I know it's going to get broken at some point. And Alex Ovechkin is an awesome player and deserves it. And also, another star, just like Ovechkin, came in around the same time. They were rivals. Penguin star Sidney Crosby became the 21st person in NHL history to score 600 goals and just the 7th to score that many with one franchise.
Wow. All right. Shout out.
And I would do more, but you probably don't want the standings or anything, do you?
Well, I know Canteen probably has some astute analysis or question concerning NHL, right, Ken?
Bro, why you do that?
Why you do that?
Bro, hey.
I'm just saying. I know you're a big hockey guy. I just,
you know, hockey is not in my wheelhouse.
That's
not in your wheelhouse.
That's messed up. Yeah, that's messed up.
Flo knows that.
Yeah, I know that. I had to mess with you a little bit. Hey, so really quick, who are the favorites this year in the Western and the Eastern conferences for the NHL? Like, who are the top two that are probably the favorites in those conferences?
Yeah, I mean, before Alex Ovechkin got hurt, I actually had liked the Washington Capitals with the run they were on, and they're still in third place in the Metropolitan, which would put them at 5th or 6th in the conference if the playoffs were to start today. But I also like the Carolina Hurricanes. They've been playing at a really good clip as well. They're ranked 2nd in the Metropolitan there, so they would be probably 3rd or 4th seed right now in the playoffs. But leading in the East is the New Jersey Devils. They're 1 point above them, the Carolina Hurricanes. And then in the West, I mean, I would be very benign if I didn't go with my own team. My Los Angeles Kings are playing awesome. They're 3rd in the Pacific right now, 5th in the playoffs. But we haven't been able to get over the first round. So I'm not going to act like it's going to happen this year. So you're looking at the Winnipeg Jets, who are having one of the most amazing seasons ever. If you remember a few weeks ago, I mentioned that hot start they went on, similar to the Cavs. They are 18-4 right now, so they are the best team in the league by a little bit.
And since I'm definitely a hockey novice, I was just curious: is there a team that's currently, a favorite or a possibility that has never won the Stanley Cup? Is there a team out there that, hey, this could be their first championship, or maybe in a long time, first one in a long time?
Well, I mean, there's many of them that haven't had him in a long time. If you look at,
but I mean that could win it this year, that have a strong case to probably win it this year.
Yeah, sure. The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay.
You can look at the Winnipeg Jets. You can look at the Calgary Flames that are right above my Kings. You can look at any of these Canadian teams.
And they all have a shot this year. I mean, as far as they have the team to do it.
Those teams I mentioned to you are each in the top 2 of their division.
Okay.
Now, why I say that though, because this is the huge stat that has been crazy in hockey that has been blowing people's minds. The Canadian team, which is where hockey ostensibly started, for the most part, in North America. They have not won a championship, no Canadian team, in over 25 years.
Oh, wow. Fun fact, right? Wow. And so the Toronto's probably the first team that could do that, could win it?
Well, Winnipeg is the best team right now, so they would probably have the best shot. But my thing is, usually the teams that are really hot in hockey can't sustain it because it is a long season and there's a lot of hits and things like that. So I think maybe you want to play the long card and maybe look at the Calgary Flames or I like the Calgary Flames for that pick or
the first Canadian in 25 years.
Toronto. Or Toronto. Toronto's been there trying to win for a while, so they need to pull it off at some point.
Okay, that's fair. All right, Professor, appreciate you giving us a rundown on hockey. I like to have probing questions. You know how I am. I like to have a probing question here and there, especially for those who are like me, who may be novices but maybe are kind of interested on ancillarily or in the ancillary. We're hockey adjacent. We're not really hockey purists, and so it's fun to just kind of see, learn a little bit from someone who is more of an expert in hockey. All right, so let's check out some NBA action. A couple of topics here. One I didn't really mention, but you guys are pretty good. Y'all can kind of tap in. But one of them, I know I mentioned that the Warriors are, I think they're 12-5. The Rockets are 12-6. I think they're first, second, top 3 or 4 in the conference. But most people were thinking this was either rebuilding for the Warriors or reloading for them and trying to get back, or the Rockets, a young team. They seem to be kind of upstarts this year. What are your thoughts, Ken and Professor? Can these 2 teams keep it up? I mean, after they got rid of Clay, most people were kind of written off the Warriors coming into this year, and they look pretty good. I mean, they look solid, and so do the Rockets. What do you think, Ken? If any one of these teams, can they keep this up for the rest of the season and stay in that top echelon of the conference?
So for me, man, for the West, the National Basketball Association, the West Conference, Thunder, Warriors, Rockets, Lakers. Here's the thing: the Rockets got to be consistent. And what I mean by consistency, I mean it's early on in the season. I think they're like 80. I think it's 82 games.
Right. Yeah.
82 games. So there's a lot of basketball that's left. I mean, you still got the duration of December, January, then you got February, and then after the All-Star break, that's when you kind of decipher who.
Yeah, once you start getting, but I'm saying, I mean, they're so far as can they keep this up? Can these teams keep this pace, and stay atop of close to the top of the?
It's still early, man. It's still early.
Too early for you?
It's too early for me to project. Now, if you were a team like Boston, somebody that has a consistent track record and that's done really, really well.
You don't have an opinion either way that maybe these 2 teams could continue to be successful?
I mean, out of those 2 teams, I'll go
if you
Warriors.
Had to pick one, you like the Warriors better.
I'll go Warriors.
Okay.
I'll go with the Warriors, man. Got to go with the Warriors, bro.
Okay, Professor, what do you think about these 2 teams? Can they keep this either one or both?
I really like the Warriors keeping it up. I think that they've got a spark in them. They're going back to the strength in numbers mantra that they had when they won their first championship. I believe that Steph Curry's obviously still playing at a high level. He's shooting 44% from 3. Draymond Green is still being the pest and great defensive player that he is. And they're just gelling. They have really good pieces around.
But it's surprising, kind of, isn't it? Isn't it kind of surprising that they're doing as well?
Yeah, we thought they were over the hill. We definitely thought that their run was coming to an end. You say goodbye to Clay, and you're like, well, I just don't know if they're going to be able to still do it. Everybody's
they broke up the Splash Brothers, and I thought maybe this could be a rebuilding year for them, We
thought, but you know what? They have surprised us, just like you mentioned the Rockets. The Rockets are the biggest surprise. Let's be completely honest, though, because the Rockets, just the past 2 years had won maybe a total of like 30 games.
Right.
In the past couple of years, they've been horrible. And last year was Ime Udoka's first year, and they got better. When he came along, they started to improve and get better, and now he's turned them into a contender. I wholeheartedly believe in Ime Udoka as a coach because I saw what he did with the Celtics in the 1 year. He was there.
I mean, obviously, obviously.
And he
wasn't just a fluke with the Celtics. It was
right, and he has defense playing amazing. They're number 2 in defense. So as long as they can continue, and as they say, especially in basketball, defense wins championships, right? So,
Yeah,
okay.
That's true.
All right, Hot Take. I don't know if you heard the question, but the Warriors and the Rockets are kind of upstart this year. Can they keep this up? Can either one of these teams?
Man. I'm so sorry, Jake. I apologize in advance. I feel horrible. I promise you it was not on purpose. It was not deliberate at all. I was surprised by some friends with a Friendsgiving, and I could not obviously turn them down. So I apologize that I wasn't here. I will take my lickings right now. Go ahead.
Hey, Jake. All right. So
we'll get into Warriors. We'll get into NFL here soon.
Hold on.
I just don't know why this trash can was talking the whole time. I don't get that.
Okay.
You want to go in on him a little, Jake, and then talk about NBA?
No. Let's get into the Warriors. Here's the thing, guys. The thing about the Warriors is, yes, they're overachieving, but at the same time, I believe the Warriors have a ceiling. Do we really take the Warriors serious that they can win a championship this year? I surely don't.
And they stay in the top 2 or 3, though.
No? All I know is this. Usually they look decent, and then they end up falling down. I don't trust them. They're not the same team. This is not the same dominant team we've known from years past.
The young players look pretty good this year. They've seemed to be coming around.
That's part of the rookie. That's going to be part of the young slumps as well, though. They got to build themselves over.
Okay.
I don't take this team as serious to be a Final 4 or Final 8. I really don't. I really don't. That's some truth out of it.
Okay. And what about the Rockets? Do you take them serious? I mean, they're a young team.
Like I said, you got to go through growing pains. They're going to remind me of last year's OKC team that you know that OKC is probably going to go a step up this year. They'll probably make it to the conference finals, in my opinion.
Yeah, but they got some experience. Dylan Brooks is there and Şengün is there.
Dylan Brooks? The hell's that? That's trash.
He was good. He's a good defensive guy.
He reminds me of Lance Stevenson at best. He's a Lance Stevenson. At his best moments. I'm just calling a spade a spade.
So you don't believe it?
Rockets are going to go through growing pains as well.
If you had to pick one of these teams to continue to do well and maybe
I picked the Warriors because of Steph Curry's history. But that'd be the best of it. I just don't think this team can beat championship level threats, as in the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Celtics. We're not doing that. You can't do that yet. You have to build yourself up.
All right, that's fair. All right, yeah, I think I can agree the Warriors might be able to keep this up, but I like young teams tend to, once they start to show that increased progression, they tend to have a good year. All of the Memphis Grizzlies when they were young, Minnesota, they even Sacramento, they had a young team, that they had injuries last year, but yeah, I think maybe the Rockets could be. I'm still kind of up in the air on which one of these teams. So a really quick question. The Lakers actually are playing pretty well this year.
Yeah.
That's one of the big teams.
Shout out JJ Redick, Coach of the Year aspect right there, guys.
Jay,
I tried to warn you.
Don't do that. Jay, don't do
that.
You see a complete difference. A complete difference.
Okay.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Do it right
now. Of Darvin Ham's coaching compared to JJ Redick.
I do have a question about the Lakers. And you mentioned this, Omar, but when we first started that they didn't bring Bronny up just to put him in the league, but he's in the G League. And the question I have, what is this about Bronny only playing in home games? Huh? What is that about, Canteen? Omar, give us your thoughts on. They put him in the G League, and then now he's only playing home games.
This team's playing great. We're talking about Bronny. Shaking my head.
Here's the thing, and I saw something else, Flo.
Makes no sense.
That they were talking about on the pivot. Ryan Clark. They made a point about about Bronny as well. So Bronny, he doesn't fly commercial with the team. He doesn't stay in the same hotel with the team. He kind of does his own thing. Wow. So he flies separate and does all those different things. So here's the thing, man.
Wow.
I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that's going on with this guy. And then on top of that, man, I mean, they sent him down. They sent him to that league for a purpose. He has not reached his full potential. He's not a great guy. He's riding his father's coattail. Let's just be honest. Be honest. He's riding his father's coattail. He has a lot more development that he needs to develop more on his skill sets, and then he'll be a better ball player.
Omar, any thoughts? I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time on it. I'm just curious.
No, yeah. I mean, we did say that we thought it didn't make. I said I didn't think it made sense for him to go to the G League. He might as well spend time getting the experience from the NBA and being with his father, because that was the whole reason you brought him there. But I guess they figured he wasn't getting enough run and he needed to get a little more showcase. Also, we've got to look a little deeper into this. As you mentioned, he's not going on any road trips, right? He's just playing with the team when they're at home. So what does that do? Maybe they're trying to bring a little more star power to that G League team of theirs, to maybe sell them a little more tickets, things like that. And then that way, when they go on the road, he can still experience the life of the NBA and learning those things that you need to learn. I guess being at home is a little easier in the NBA than when you're on the road. So that way it gives him a varied bit of experience and more playing time. In the end, it doesn't matter. Again, he's going to retire in 2 years when his daddy does. And I'll be saying goodbye to the James family forever.
You're crazy.
Any thoughts?
Omar does make a valid point. 2 years.
Here's what I'll say. Once again, we're talking about Bronny, who's a rookie, who's learning the game right now, and he's making headlines for a little while. That's fine, but right now the headline should be JJ Redick is overachieving with the same Lakers team Darvin Ham had. Proud of this. They're doing their thing. Top 4 team in the West right now. That's pretty damn good, guys. It's pretty damn good.
That's where they were last year, wasn't it? Like 4 or 5?
No.
And then they hit the
what's it called?
They started out pretty good.
They started out bad. They started out like 1-9. It was not good. So
now they're going to
JJ Redick is showing you the offense is very good. JJ Redick's offensive repertoire is absolute. I love it. I love it so much. It's so great. So I told you, this guy's going to be great. I love JJ Redick. Shout out to him. As for Bronny, let him build up. He's a rookie right now. Like I said, he didn't even have a full year in college. Let him learn.
Okay.
Give him his time.
All right. So early, one last topic for the NBA. Early on, this is kind of way too early, but just looking at who's kind of 1 month, a month or so into the NBA season, who's kind of like your or early favorites for MVP, and just your early favorites for MVP right now. Who looks like they're on that? They could win an MVP this year. Okay.
Currently,
man, just right now. It doesn't mean they're going to
right now. Embiid is doing really, really well, man. Ooh. He's been playing pretty good. Joel Embiid.
Have you watched these games, Cam? Are you watching NBA?
Not really.
Okay, then.
But I
was gonna say.
But I will say this.
That was like a hot take, Jake take.
Embiid.
No, that ain't my take. Don't do that.
Go ahead.
That's a flow take right there.
No, I'm just saying.
Did you just say Embiid's been playing well? Embiid has only played like 2 games. Fool, what kind of basketball you watching?
I'm just saying. I know he didn't watch it because
that league pass, baby. You need that league pass in your life, Canteen.
He just grabbed at a name, I think. I don't think
we're in the middle of football season. Don't worry.
Yeah, I ain't really paying no attention to it. I'm a football guy.
You should just said that, man. I mean,
just say that in the beginning.
I'm not paying too much attention. I couldn't give you a good answer. You could have just said that. Yeah. Okay. Appreciate you.
What do you got, Omar? What do you got,
Omar? Any early favorites?
There are 3 people in my MVP race right now. First of all, you cannot overlook the Joker. He may win his 4th in 5 years, and the only other person to ever do that is LeBron. But right now, he's playing better than any other season in his career. While everyone else on his team around him is slumping and playing like crap, he has ascended to even better heights. He's scoring like 30 points a game. I don't have the exact stats in front of me. He's scoring, I believe it's 30 points a game, 11 assists, and 13 rebounds a game or something like that. Something outrageous that some big center like that should not be running up and down the court like a roly-poly doing, but he is. So shout out to
29.7, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Hey, I was right. Look at that. I was right. All right, so I gave him one extra assist, but I was right on everything else. Second, I don't have the stats in front of me. I apologize. I usually am more prepared. Second, Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is scoring at also 29
That's
points
such a reach
per game. That's not a reach. Thank you. I was 29. Yeah, and he has, I believe, six rebounds, 6 assists a game, somewhere around there. And he's leading the best team in the league. It's by far the Celtics are going to repeat this year. Jake, you can be a hater.
Oh, stop!
Oh, wow! Repeat. Wow.
And because you are a hater, I'm going to change my pick. Because I was actually going to give your man some props and say that LeBron and Anthony Davis, I was going to give them a tie and say that they have been playing out of their mind. But since you want to be a little hater, since you want to be a little punk, I'm taking LaMelo Ball at number 3. LaMelo Ball has been on a heater since he came back from his ankle injury. He's averaging 35 points per game. Granted, he's taking threes per game, but hey, LaMelo Ball.
Dark horse.
The thing about MVPs that frustrate me is it's all about the stats. I like to see. I remember when Russ was doing those stats, it was all crazy and great. I also believe though during those times, remember when CP3 was carrying like the Oklahoma Thunder, like he deserved it in my opinion. It's the same way I feel this year, and we just talked about him.
He definitely didn't have the number.
What Steph Curry is doing with the Warriors, how that team is not supposed to be that great. And he's overachieving with that team. I think Steph Curry should be the MVP favorite right now for what he is doing. This guy is overachieving with a team that's young. There's no other star player on that team. I'm sorry, Draymond's past his prime. Clay's out of there. There's nobody else there. Andrew Wiggins is a shell of himself. He's not the same player. This is what they're doing. I'm proud of Steph. Go ahead, go Steph.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And I'll give Anthony Davis some love. He's averaging 30 points, 11 in rebounds, and almost 3 assists. So that's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty solid for him if he can stay healthy. And the last year or two, he's managed to stay fairly healthy. So shout out to him if he can stay healthy. I mean, he might be in for his first. I think that'll be his first one, right? I don't think he won one with. Who was he with? The Pelicans?
No, he never won with New Orleans.
I think he was in the running a couple times. No, I think he was in the running.
But he never won.
This might be the first MVP love he gets if he keeps this up. So, all right. So, any other NBA stuff you want to talk about, and we could just move on to other topics. College playoffs. I know Canteen. That's his wheelhouse. We'll start out with him, but no more NBA. Let's get on some college football. Canteen. There's some big games. Some Colorado loses to a frisky Jayhawks team that I
Jake, what you got to say, man?
I tried to tell Jake they were frisky. They played everybody tough.
He's been saying each week that Colorado was going to lose. Eventually, he's going to be right on one. You had
that is a good point.
That didn't happen.
That is a good point.
Thank you. I mean, just go look up at the videos. He literally each week we kept telling me that they were going to win. You're going to get one right, bro. Good job.
Whatever. I didn't say it every week. I did not say that every week.
Go ahead, Ken.
Kansas was frisky, and I made good points about how they played and who they played, and the fact that they've been playing everybody tough. Go ahead, Ken.
All right, man. So when we look at
rundown,
we look at that Kansas and Colorado game, man. 21-37. Shedeur Sanders went 23 for 29, 266 yards, passing 3 touchdowns. He rushed for 4 carries, 26 yards, and Travis Hunter ended up having 8 receptions, 125 yards, and he ended up scoring 2 touchdowns as well. Daniels, the quarterback from Kansas, 14 for 21, 189 yards, 1 touchdown. Neal, their running back, 37 carries, 207 yards, rushing, 3 touchdowns, and he was also their receiving person with the most receiving, 4 receptions, 80 yards, 1 TD. Man, I think this game was kind of a game to humble Colorado, man. And I think each week, man, Colorado, they seem to get more arrogant, more boastful, more belligerent. They do some stupid stuff, man. If we backtrack and look at the game when they played against Texas Tech, and the ball boy was taking the ball from Shiloh Sanders after he scored a touchdown, and he said some obscene things and said some things to the guy or whatever. But Colorado, they seem as if they're invincible, right? And so Deion Sanders had a speech last week saying that, hey, we need to be humble. We feel like we're humble. But I think this week they're gonna have a great game. They play on Friday. A lot of good college football games on Friday. They're gonna play Oklahoma State, and I think they'll be fine, man. Right now, I think they're number 25 in the rankings at this point right now. So they'll be all right. Yeah.
Omar, I mean, I know you're saying that, I say it every week, but I did say that they played Arizona State close, who's now, I think, in the top 2 of the Big 12. They played Kansas State close. They beat Iowa State. They beat BYU. Yeah. Kansas, I just thought they were really playing really well in the last 4 or 5 games. And I thought this could be one of those games that they could falter because how Kansas was playing. Even though their record, they lost a few early games that they didn't look good in, but they started to build and play better. What do you think? What's your thoughts on this game in Colorado? Can they get back into the Big 12 championship?
Yeah, this is one of those things where, two things can be true. That's not mutually exclusive. That you did say that Kansas was frisky. Yes, and they have been playing well as of late and played well pretty much the whole year. But it's also true that you told Jake every time that Colorado wasn't going to win. So both things can be true, and I agree with you. They were.
I don't think that's true.
Anyways, I don't know why he's laughing. I'm just being curious. He's making me laugh.
Baloney. No, I said
true. Both things.
I did say that. I didn't say every week.
I want to shout out Canteen. He called the Travis Hunter Heisman pick very early. I agree with him. I think he has moved solidly into first place over the Boise State running back GNT. That being said, Colorado, they need help. They're going to need some losses in order for them to be able to get into the Big 12 championship, to be able to play, to get into the playoffs. And it's not even guaranteed that they do that. And where they're at in the rankings definitely would not guarantee them any sort of playoff. But they still got games to go. So, we'll see how they close the year out.
Yeah.
And for the record, I only said Kansas State could beat them, and they did lose to Kansas State. The other ones I said that Tech, I wanted them to win, that they could win. I didn't say the other team could win.
Yeah, pick Tech.
I never said.
You don't have to,
I did.
You don't have to keep defending yourself.
That's not every game. That's not every game.
I'll have to look back in the video.
Yeah, look back.
Look, either way, they're playing Oklahoma State this week, and Oklahoma State is 3-8, so that's going to be a win right there. But there's 3 teams ahead of them that are 9-2. So you know what I mean? They still have to get above those other teams.
Right.
Well, here's the thing that kind of confuses me. The BYU should definitely be in the Big 12 championship, which they will be. There's 3 teams with Colorado. I think it's Iowa State, and there's one more.
Arizona
they all
State.
have the same conference record. How do they choose in between those? That's what I was trying to figure out on my other podcast.
Well, I think it's common opponents, and some of it's I think it's points against, points for. You have the conference record.
College football needs to fix that crap. I'm able to know the rankings so fast with the NFL and figure out what it goes by, especially in division, and what it goes by, stuff like that.
Right.
That's what frustrates me.
I think a lot of it's common opponent. Yeah.
I think that Deion said it best. I think he said, dude, we were smelling ourselves too much. He says they already were winning too much. They were infatuated with victories. They just thought they could walk in with a victory.
Right.
I think this team is resilient. I still think that's the best QB in college football. It was terrible with that blatant hit that they tried to do on
that play
Shador. I don't know how the hell that wasn't even called for a flag. You're hitting them. See, that's the one thing I'll give the NFL credit for. The NFL will protect their quarterbacks, and they've done it the past 7 seasons of each year, trying to make sure their quarterbacks are safe.
I think that's a miscall.
College football. That's what you have to learn. The second your QBs go out, your team's the team's on the decline. Look at teams that lost their QB this season. That's what happens.
Having that starting QB is important.
So I don't want to hear that. Cowboys been losing before that. Don't do that. And not only that,
no. You just said starting QBs are important.
You said it.
Yes, starting QBs are important. But Cowboys were losing prior to that, right, Ken? Yes or no? Was Dak playing with the?
We had a lot of injuries though. We had a lot of injuries. He was playing well.
Which one is it? Is it quarterback or is it the
I don't
team?
know. You need a quarterback, a starting quarterback, obviously. Duh.
All I kept hearing Omar on Sunday was it's a team
But it's
sport.
not. It's not.
It's a team sport. It's a team.
But you need a starting quarterback.
He said it about 30 times that day. I couldn't believe it.
No, I didn't say it 30
said,
times.
Put a shirt on and just put it's a team sport. Please.
It is a team sport, but you need a starting quarterback, no matter who you are.
I'm saying college football needs to worry on that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But yes.
Go ahead, Omar. You had
as I was saying. Go ahead, Omar.
No, all right. So I looked up the tiebreaker rules. They're different among all conferences, which is
see what I mean?
Stupid. Now I agree with Jake. Just have one damn common
the
system.
Dumbest thing, man.
All right. So the Big 12's tiebreaker rules. One is head-to-head competition. So common opponent, like Flo said. Number two is win percentage against all common conference opponents among the tied teams. Which now we have 4 tied teams, all with the same conference record. Now, to explain this a little further, because I got an article which goes into it. After that, it's win percentage against next highest common opponent, blah, blah. Here's what they say. Here's where things stand with BYU, Colorado, Iowa State, Arizona State, all tied for first place at 6-2 in conference play. BYU finishes with Houston, Colorado, with Oklahoma State. Iowa State plays Kansas State. Arizona State plays Arizona. So everybody gets like their rivals pretty much. If all 4 were to win this weekend, Arizona State and Iowa State would play for the championship. So if all 4 win, it's ASU versus Iowa State. Again, this goes to common opponents and all those other things we just talked about.
Right.
If all the teams win except BYU, so if BYU loses and all the other 3 win, then Colorado and Arizona State would meet in the championship. Now, if only Colorado loses, then it's going to be ASU versus Iowa State. So again, you would go back to that same first matchup we had. So the
Makes
most
no
common
sense. That is crazy.
matchup, I know, so freaking confusing. But right now,
also Colorado was 8-3.
The most.
So if they lose another game,
once you go in conference, they all have the same record in conference.
Right, but you also count their total win percentage, and they would be a lower percentage at 8-3.
Well, not for the
9-3.
Well, conference. He just said the conference is the most important. The conference record, the conference points, all that.
But if everything's equal, then you also look at their win-loss record, and they have more losses.
Well, there's a reason Colorado could still be in the championship.
It's possible.
Yeah,
it could.
If
some help.
BYU is the only one to lose, then Colorado would get in. So BYU has
absolutely, and Deion's done crazy great. Still, I don't want that to be poo-pooed. What he's done this season for a second-year head coach, proud of him.
All right, Ken. Any other games? Any other games you want to come up?
Man, I mean, you got to look. I mean, Ole Miss got Florida beat Ole Miss. Then Alabama ended up getting beat. I mean, we don't have to hit those games, but I mean, like I said, Ole Miss.
Hit the one you want to hit, Ken.
Let's hit the Alabama game, man. Let's hit the Alabama game.
Okay.
Alabama Oklahoma game.
There's a lot of Alabama fans upset out there.
Which that game was shocking, man. But I'll hit the stats and stuff like that. So Alabama went all the way to Norman. Oklahoma only scored a field goal, man.
It was Allen.
Kicked the field goal. The score ended up being 324. Milroe ended up going 11 for 26, 164 yards. He threw for 3 interceptions, had a horrible game. Miller, their running back, ended up having 12 carries, 45 yards. And then Bernard, their receiver, 4 receptions, 60 yards. Then when we look at Oklahoma, Arnold, 9 for 11, 68 yards, horrible. And then he was their leading rusher with 25 carries, 131 yards. And then Sharp, their receiver, 2 receptions, 21 yards. I mean, with this win, Oklahoma became bowl eligible. They got a 6 win, so they're going to go play in somebody's bowl somewhere. This kind of solidified where Alabama sits at right now. So Alabama's lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Oklahoma. They lost one more other game. I forgot who they lost to another game. I don't think it was Ole Miss. Might have been Tennessee or somebody like that they lost to. So right now they sit at 8-3. And as Alan just said, Clemson and Alabama are the first 2 out of this point. I think Kalen DeBoer's done a great job coaching there. But he just needs to focus on reinforcements and trying to do some things a little bit different. He's not a Nick Saban. He doesn't bring the flavor or the vibe that Nick Saban brought to the table.
Okay. Yeah. So Omar, what are your thoughts here? I mean, this was Oklahoma team that hadn't beaten a good team all year. All the good teams they played, they lost to, even though a couple of them were fairly kind of close. Was this more just good Oklahoma or bad Alabama?
Oh, totally bad Alabama. Okay. As you mentioned, Oklahoma has not been a good football team this year. I'm surprised that they're even bowl eligible now, but they are. They just haven't been really. They haven't really just been that great this year. So, but a broken clock is wrong twice a day, and any given Sunday is what they say. That being said, it was just a really bad.
Whatever. I've been right more than you.
Jalen Milroe had one of his worst games he's had season, or maybe even of his career. And
I laugh at this all. I laugh at this all. The SEC was supposed to be this dangerous team, and Oklahoma and Texas were told, y'all have never seen an SEC like this. Y'all are used to Big 12, and here Texas is number 1 in their damn conference. I laugh at this. Keep going, Omar. I laugh at this.
I mean,
this
is surprising.
Beautiful.
That is surprising to a lot of people, including myself. That they are.
How dangerous this conference was supposed to be.
This is the first time you've had a good team this good.
But last year. And I also
last year you were just under what you are now. You're better than you were last year.
And that doesn't take away from the SEC anyways. That just means they have really good teams that cannibalize each other.
That tells you that Texas is for real. Omar.
That does say that.
But hold up, Jake. Texas got to beat Texas A&M to get into the SEC championship.
Beautiful. Don't worry. We get it.
They got to be A&M first.
That's a real rivalry. I'm ready for that one.
That is a real rivalry there.
Old kill rivalry.
I mean, that's a potential L too. But I think Texas losing. They're still in the championship, right? No, I'm just saying it's a potential L because of the rivalry. I'm not saying that they're going to beat them.
I think Texas will win that one. I ain't worried.
Easy money.
It's gonna be a tough game.
A&M might play smart. Okay. Is it in A&M? I think it is in A&M. It's in Texas A&M. The good thing is everybody's got 2 losses. I think no matter what, Texas has secured his their championship SEC.
Yes, that's what I just said. I said that already. I said that the Texas is going to be in no matter what because they already beat Georgia. So.
It's beautiful. No, they lost to Georgia.
Yeah, they lost to us. We beat them.
They lost to Georgia. Oh, yeah. But they have the same record at that point. I guess that's what I was thinking at. All right. Any other team you want to talk about? Any other games, and then we can move on to upcoming week if you want to. Whatever you.
Man, that was it. Pretty much. Last weekend was a lot of upsets in college football, but last week was a pretty weak weekend but there weren't really big games to watch last weekend at all, man. Now this weekend, that's a different story. This is like rivalry week.
Right.
So a lot of your in-state rivalries will go on this weekend.
Well, and Georgia, for you, I mean, Georgia Tech, you can ill afford to lose this.
We do need to bring up one game. I think people were trying to tell me who was it, but Ohio State ended up destroying Indiana, which I called this from the get-go. That Indiana was straight trash and not to take this team seriously. Another thing Jake called. My gosh, how embarrassing was that to watch? Will Howard is still smoking on that Indiana pack again.
Smoking that Indiana pack, sucker.
Yeah.
I agree. No, I agree with Jake. Indiana, that was bad. Also bad. Army. Just a bad weekend for Flo all around. Army just played horribly. Took that whooping 49-14 by Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You did have Indiana beat
Notre Dame spanked that.
But they've had a good season overall, though. Army's had a good season overall.
Yeah. Sure, I agree with that.
Yeah. Overall, they've had one of their best seasons ever.
Of course, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything if your playoff dreams are ruined now. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, do they really have playoff dreams coming in?
No, but you had them at some point this season.
Is that you, Jake?
Final Say podcast. Somebody says
that's Matt. That's either got to be Matt.
Man,
what's up, Matt?
Shout out my boy, man.
He's the Longhorn fan too.
Yes, shout out, man. Yes. That's the one thing we can only agree on. Me and Matt.
The only thing you agree on is your Longhorn fans.
Yeah, me and him are the opposite on everything else.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Any other thoughts on last weekend? And we'll talk about this upcoming weekend.
Nah, man, that's it for last weekend, man.
Okay, so Canteen, like I was saying, Georgia Tech has a pretty decent team this year. I mean, this isn't like your past years where you've just run over Georgia Tech. I mean, you can ill afford to get another loss if you want to stay in the SEC championship. So What are your thoughts on that game? And then we can bring up any other games after that.
All right, man. So I kind of like the way the college football, NCAA kind of scheduled everything this year, man. A lot of the great games are on Friday. So that means the guys, they can't even go home. So they'll have Thanksgiving at the universities, go to their team hotels, do all their routine stuff and all that stuff that, do what they normally do, but they won't get a break until after Thanksgiving, man. So here's what I'm thinking. Man, Georgia going to slaughter Georgia Tech.
Oh,
They're
really?
Gonna slaughter them.
Wow. Okay.
Slaughter them.
Like 20 plus? 20 plus?
I'll give you my score prediction. I'm going to go 34-10 Georgia.
34-10 Georgia.
I'm going Georgia, man. We'll put icing on the cake. Because here's what you got to understand, Flo. Georgia had one of the toughest schedules in college football. Nobody can argue against me with that. We went to Alabama. We went to Texas. Lost to Alabama. Won in Texas. And then we lost at Ole Miss. Tough schedule. When we look at the SEC. We're going to put icing on the cake Friday.
Okay. What do you think? Omar? I think that's a frisky Georgia Tech team. I mean, they did beat Miami a couple weeks ago, and they beat NC State. Whoa. It was a close game, but I think that's a
beat NC State by 1.
No, I'm asking the question. Is it going to be a slaughter, or will this be a good game?
Georgia Tech.
I'm asking the question. No,
I'm telling you, I'm answering your question.
I'm not saying they're going to lose. I'm saying could this be a close game where Georgia Tech?
They'll be lucky if it ain't 3 damn touchdowns. Okay.
Okay.
Georgia, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you got me. Destruction. Georgia should win this game easy.
Destruction.
It's destruction time. Okay. All right. Y'all say so. Y'all probably right. All right. Any other games, Ken? You're the college guy.
Same thing with the Oklahoma State Colorado game. I think Colorado solidified everything, getting their 9th win this week. Their chances of getting into the playoff are kind of slim or whatever, but I think they'll end up going to a decent bowl. I'm gonna say they'll probably play those guys close. I'll go 30-17. Colorado ends up beating Oklahoma State. That's gonna be a good one.
I think we all think Colorado's gonna win that game.
Yeah.
What about this, Ken? Let's talk about this. Alan's saying the playoff rankings just dropped. First 4 buys right now is
Oregon, Texas, Miami, Arizona State, Ohio State.
5 through 12 is Iowa State, Penn State, Notre Dame, Georgia, Tennessee, SMU, Indiana, and Arizona State. What do you think of those, Ken or Omar? Anybody can go, but what do you think about these initial playoff rankings?
This is me talking up front, man. It's hard to argue against Oregon, man. Oregon looks really good on both sides of the ball. I like what Dan Lanning has done. Miami looks decent. They look great with Cam Ward. I think Texas is gonna falter this weekend, man. I believe in the A&M team, man.
Okay.
I believe in A&M. I believe in A&M. I think A&M gonna upset Texas.
The only thing, I think he made a mistake there because he says Arizona had a bye and then he puts them down there in the 5 through 12. So that might have been a typo.
That thing might have been a typo, but
I didn't look it up. But that's what Alan put out. Any thoughts, Omar?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Oregon has been the team, for the past 10 weeks that has been on top of Texas. Texas is still there, so we'll see how things still got a chance. What I like to point out here is that Alabama is one of the first 2 out. And as I mentioned to you all last week, it is very possible that we get a 3-loss team in the playoffs. Yeah, it may not happen. It may not happen this year.
3 loss?
But it's definitely going to happen at some point. But it could happen this year because if Alabama were to win out and certain teams were to lose, it's possible that they could get in if they were ranked at that number, 11 position or 12 position, depending on what independents are.
And they got Auburn this weekend.
Yeah, Alabama has Auburn, and Auburn's
I'm not saying it's easy.
bad.
I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm just saying it's possible. All I'm saying is there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance.
And Auburn's upset a couple of teams this year too.
Yeah.
They've upset a few.
Everybody hit that like button. We see y'all watching out there. There's plenty of y'all out there. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you join the Bottom Line Sports. Hit that like button up there, y'all.
Yeah, thanks, Omar. I appreciate
The only
you
thing I'll
reminding
say
people.
on it is the only thing I disagree on is I think Oregon will fall down. In the Big Ten championship, they will see
Really?
Ohio
Okay.
State, and
All
I
right.
think in the rematch, Ohio State will beat them. And with that being
Really?
said,
That's
Ohio
fine, but
State
they'll
will
still
get
get
the
in.
bye.
They'll-
They're still
Yeah,
going
they'll
to get
still
in.
be in.
They would still
And
get
anybody
in.
that is to
Okay.
play
All right.
Indiana gets a free win. So get ready for
My
that too.
God.
Ah,
I don't know if
Just throwing a
that's.
spade a
I don't know if
spade,
that.
man.
You're really throwing Indiana under the bus. I think they're better than
Yeah.
that.
No.
of course he is, because you're the one that picked them.
Smoking
Why
on
else
that
would you?
Indiana
Of course.
pack, man.
Yeah,
Go
of
ahead,
course.
Will.
Of course.
Your
Of
thing.
course.
They go Jake. That talking about that Indiana pack.
I'm surprised Boise State's not in there. I mean, I would think they'd make the top 12. They're ranked 12th right now, but I thought they could be a frisky team that go in there and be a spoiler. But anything else,
I
Cam?
mean, clearly they don't believe in him. So
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean,
That's fair.
Omar just said clearly they don't believe in
Not a
that
bad
Boise State
conference,
team,
man.
But I mean that's
the other
it, man.
thing. Is a lot of people have been crapping on the Big 12 and just saying that. Well, I never, you know what? He doesn't, because that's the wrong conference, anyways. They're in the Big 10.
Yeah, I forget where
Yeah.
they're at. Where they at? In the Midwest or something like that?
Yeah,
That's
but the
weird.
Big 12 has been the Big 12.
Boise State, Mountain West, right?
Mountain West?
Boise State,
Oh,
Mountain
Mountain
West. Should be Mountain
Yeah,
West.
see, that's where they're at. Yeah, it's a bad conference, all in all. So they have to probably
it?
go undefeated to
I
get
believe.
It's not a good conference. There's not that many good teams in that conference.
It is the Mountain West. Yep.
Mountain West, man.
Yeah, I mean, Fresno State usually has good teams. UNLV has a good team this year. Sometimes San Diego State is good. Air Force is in there. Sometimes is pretty good.
You
San
named
Diego
teams
State,
that
they're
probably
rebuilding,
average in the
man.
teens,
But-
top
but-
25 ever. That's it.
But to be fair, they did take Oregon State all the way to the end. They only lost 37-34 to Oregon.
San Diego
Boise
State's rebuilding too, man.
I'm just saying, Boise State took Oregon all the way to the end, almost beat them. So
Like
that's why I was
said,
saying they could be a spoiler. But anyway,
we'll see.
all right. Anything else, Cam? We're gonna move to NFL.
Nah, man, just looking forward to a good week of rivalry week, man, and we'll see what happens after rivalry week, man. This
Yep.
is it.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it for
All
a
right,
while.
Ken. Talk about Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night football,
Ooh.
man. Eagles Rams, great game, man. I think this kind of
I
solidifies.
think all
that
y'all
the
picked the
Eagles-
damn Rams.
I think that
You say
Yeah,
Eagles Rams?
Eagles
Yeah,
Rams.
Oh,
Eagles
okay.
Sunday night, yeah. I think I picked the Rams. I forgot, man. But
Mm-hmm.
the score was 37-20, man. So we look at the stats, man. Jalen Hurts, 15 for 22, 179 yards, 1 touchdown. Saquon Barkley is
MVP
playing
right
phenomenal
there.
football, man. 26 carries.
I said that. I was the first one to say
55
that.
yards, 2 touchdowns.
You didn't pick them. You picked the Rams over them for some reason.
What?
But I picked Saquon as the MVP a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago.
What?
And you guys
AJ
said
Get
something
Brown.
out
else.
of here. I was the first one. Oh my God, what is happening right now?
Oh, whatever.
AJ Brown,
I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, Omar.
109 yards.
You just missed last episode.
So you steal my take?
Oh, you
So I'm gone and you
that's
steal
not-
my takes?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I
all
didn't
right,
take
bruh.
that was
Bruh.
your take
All right.
that
Don't
he's
worry,
the
that MVP.
He was winning
Yeah,
the
I was
MVP?
the first one. I was the first one to hype him as MVP weeks ago.
Okay.
Like it's
All right,
7 or
Omar.
8 weeks ago.
Okay, Omar.
All right, man. Matt Stafford,
Then I guess I agreed with you. I was
he
the
threw for
first to agree with you.
243 yards, 2 touchdowns. K. Williams, 16 carries, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. Puka Nacua, 9 receptions, 117 yards. I think the Eagles are for real, guys.
Mm-hmm. We need to start taking them serious.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
When I go.
The Eagles are serious, and then you got a Washington Commanders team that's taking 3 L's. It ain't good.
In a
Oh
row.
yeah, that's their
Not good.
division. That
And
division's right there.
let me say this. Let me say this right here. The Rams are still
Okay,
in
bro.
contention because you got the Rams, 49ers, and I think the Cardinals. I think all 3 of those teams are tied up for like second place or whatever. And one team is 6-5 or something like that. But they're all kind of like right behind one another in the NFC West. Here's what I'll say about the NFC East. I think right now the Eagles are. You better take the Eagles serious. Take the Eagles serious. Jaden Daniels in that rookie of the year talk. I don't know.
Well, the Eagles
don't know.
The Eagles are in good shape because they're pretty much locked into second place.
Yeah.
I mean, Even if they lose out, even
what
then
do you mean they're into second place?
They're locked in. I mean, they're not going to lose that conference. They're not going to lose the division. They're going to be the champs.
I think that they could very well have a chance at first place. I was just fighting this.
But I'm saying they're locked in. They're not going to get any worse than second place.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I think that they could go for first, though. I really do.
I mean, they could get first, yeah. But I mean, Detroit would have to lose at least one or two. But I'm saying they're locked in. That they're probably the bottom is.
Yeah, because the NFC West and NFC South is straight trash.
Right, and so they're going to be locked in. No one's going to catch them in the NFC East.
So, wait, Jay. What are you saying?
They'd have to have a total debacle for anybody to catch them.
I gotta say this point. We did make this point Sunday night. The Falcons are still in first place. They're in first place by one game. I think by one game.
I'm just saying the NFC South and West is a bad division in general. They're not going for. I don't see a Super Bowl out of that. A Super Bowl contender out of either of those divisions.
So you saying? Okay, I agree with you. A Super Bowl contender is either going to be out of NFC North or the East.
I think it's the Eagles or three of those teams from the NFC
or
North.
Detroit or Minnesota, somebody of that caliber.
I think it's down to 4 teams in the NFC. But yeah,
I guess.
Go ahead, Omar. What do you think of that Eagles game, man?
I'm talking about the Eagles' victory.
I mean, the Eagles are obviously one of the top 2 teams in the NFC, and they are going to be a formidable team to play against, especially when you got the Jalen Hurts rolling and having that backup of Saquon Barkley, which we just talked about, and Flo mentioned how he's in the MVP race, and we've been touting that on this show for a long time, and he needs to be in that MVP race. Just now last week
they were putting him in the top 2, and I think we did, at least me and you. I know you did early, like you said, but I kind of got on that after you did, and but we've been putting him up there earlier than.
And I'm gonna do a segment on this on my Mind of the Professor where I talk about the evaluation of running backs and now how that is flipping. And I did a segment with Mar about this on his show a while back. Because the passing game is not in vogue anymore. It's now about the power running. And when you have Saquon Barkley out here like this, and you have a down year for quarterbacks, let's be honest, there's no real quarterbacks that are really standing out. Really, maybe like Lamar Jackson.
Come on the
Josh
show.
Allen. So, hey, I think Saquon Barkley should be the MVP.
Absolutely. I want to add this in. I think because this guy gets slandered and I can't stand
it. On the comments.
I think it's time to start putting Nick Sirianni up there in a good head coach. I'm tired of his slander. He does not have a negative record with the Eagles. They've looked good the past 3 seasons he's had them. Absolutely.
He's kind of flaky, man.
I don't know about that. I think this guy has shown it. Here's the other point, too.
What are the top puts?
Cowboys messed up bad on this one. Who was their offensive coordinator?
Kellen Moore.
Who was their offensive coordinator?
Like 3 years ago.
3
or 4 years ago.
No, 2 years ago to be exact.
It's
2
like
years
3.
ago.
No, it's 3.
No. 2 years ago.
He wasn't there this year.
He
wasn't here than last year, so that's 3 years.
No, remember he was with the Chargers.
This is one.
He was with the Chargers last year. That was it. And then the year before that, he was with Dallas. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying.
That's 3 years ago. Yeah.
That's 2 years ago.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. It's 3 seasons ago, okay? How's that?
Oh, don't be trying. All right.
Like I said, Flo, you want to bring up when Russ does this stuff, look at what y'all did with this crap. He goes over here, and he looks great as an offensive coordinator and is showing out with this offense and showing up.
We'll see.
Oh, don't say we'll see. They're already in the playoffs.
We won 12 games with him, so...
Yeah,
what happened in the playoffs?
Declined on offense.
What happened in the playoffs?
Y'all declined.
You just brush off when you're wrong. I make a point. You're just like,
I'm just
I'm just saying we won 12 games with him. Hey, I've had enough of Kellen Moore.
Looks better with the Steelers. I can't bring up Kellen Moore looks better with the Eagles and the Cowboys. I mean, it's facts. Look at that.
How does he look better? How many games has he won? More than 12? More than 13?
All I know is they're in first place.
How did he look with the Chargers? How did he look with the Chargers? How did he look with the Chargers?
Like I said, he looks great right now. That's all I know, Flo.
But he didn't look great with the Chargers.
He looks a lot better than Mike McCarthy's offense over there in Dallas. That's all I'm going to say right now.
We have a lot of injuries, and we don't have a starting quarterback. We don't have a starting quarterback.
That's wild.
He keeps running with that one.
It's true.
And I would also like to point out, to back up Jake's point about their offense, is Saquon Barkley outgained the Rams by himself. 302 yards.
Oh, dude, Omar, I literally won my fantasy game with just him. I literally said it on the pod. I said, man, hopefully Saquon goes off. I literally won my fantasy game with just him. Thank you, Saquon, for that one.
Yeah, thanks, Saquon.
Right. Great win.
Right.
Great win, Eagles.
All right, so let's go Monday Night Football. Ravens or the Chargers, Canteen.
Man, Ravens Chargers, man. As I said on Sunday night, man, when we closed out, guys, I said this game right here is going to be probably the determining factor when we look at the entire AFC. And the Ravens conquered 30-23, man. Let's look at Lamar Jackson. His numbers, he went 16 for 22. He threw for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, Derrick Henry, he's a workhorse of a running back as well. 24 carries and 140 yards. Flowers, 6 receptions, 62 yards. Herbert, I don't know, man. This guy, 21 for 36, 218 yards.
No touchdowns.
No touchdowns.
Goose egg.
J.K. Dobbins, 6 carries, 40 yards. And Lad McConkey, Georgia kid, man, 6 receptions, 83 yards. I said it Sunday night, man. I said whoever wins this game is going to probably be one of those teams that's in the driver's seat and does great things. So, Jake, you can go ahead and smile. Me and Jake, what did we say Sunday night?
But in the driver's seat for what, though? I'm asking the question. What do you mean in the driver's seat?
No, I said that this would propel the Broncos. This will propel the Broncos if the Chargers lost that game.
Well, they do have 4 losses now. We got 5.
Yeah,
and they do got
to play them too.
4 games actually.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Atlanta,
they got a tough road
Kansas
ahead.
City, and Tampa before you play Denver. You have 2 teams that are fighting for the NFC South, and you have the Chiefs that are trying to keep the 1 seed.
And they got Atlanta.
These next 4 games are going to be very slate. Gotta be ready.
So you don't think?
No, I'm just trying to understand what you're saying, that whoever wins is in the driver's seat.
No, I was saying this game
it changed everything for them, because if the Ravens lost, you practically got the Steelers for sure now probably winning that division.
Right.
Now they're back into the race with that. The Chargers now, you can honestly say, now cannot catch up to the Chiefs. So they're going for wild card or bust now.
What? Yep.
Right.
So that's what the game was about, literally. Right. So I like what Canteen said. Go ahead. Go ahead, Omar. What do you think?
I was waiting for him to explain what he's talking about.
No, he kind of took the words out of my mouth, but that's what we caveated on Sunday night.
I don't care. I mean, I just trying to figure out what you're trying to say. But go ahead. I was just trying to figure out what you meant by that.
Did I explain myself Sunday when I said
you did? Look at that hater. That hater on my podcast, on our podcast, he be talking too much crap.
In the Broncos.
And I can't wait.
I believe that. That's a good take. Yeah. That's a good take. That's a hot take.
You believe
he needs to worry,
honestly.
He needs to worry about his Niners and if they can win another game. That's Matt.
Is that Matty Ice?
Okay.
That's a good take, Matty Ice. Shout out to Matty Ice. Good take.
He's a hater on my Broncos.
Got some great takes out here.
But Flo, honestly, let me ask you this. You honestly think they're gonna get swept, man? Are you just saying this to say it, or are you thinking with football logic when you say that?
A little bit head, a little bit of heart.
He don't like the Broncos. He hates on them. Omar, what do you think of that game, buddy? I know the Chargers losing makes you feel good, don't it?
I think the Broncos. No, I honestly think the Broncos could win one of those games, but I also think they could get swept.
Go back to that comment.
I didn't do it.
Jerry Jones can't see a good coach if it hit him in the.
Who's Champ Ross? Who's that? Is that somebody we know?
I don't know who that is.
But whoever he is.
What's up, Champ Ross?
Shout out Champ Ross.
Champ Ross, appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button, guys.
Make sure you join that. There you go. At D Bottom Line Sports.
And hit that like button, guys.
Please and I agree with you, Champ. Henry is in there for MVP too. He's having such a great year as well. I think this should be the year. We go non-quarterback. Unless you're going to go Lamar Jackson,
I agree with that. This could be the year.
Now, about this game, you're right, Jake. I love it. I love seeing the Chargers suffer just like I.
Of course, you two guys love that.
The one thing I didn't like was Herbert. He was on my fantasy team and gave me this bum-ass performance. But let's just focus on the game. Harbaugh is 3-0 in the Harbaugh Bowl. Which Harbaugh? Yep. John Harbaugh, baby. He has got all the wins over his little brother. And also, Lamar Jackson, maybe we just start calling him Monday Night Jackson, because he is 7-2 in Monday night games, including
Monday night
6-1 on the road, and he has a 124.3 passer rating on Monday night games with 22 touchdown passes and 0, I repeat, 0 interceptions. How's that for a professor stat?
All right.
Here's what I'll say. I'll point out the obvious, and I asked this to Matt earlier.
Okay.
Give me a Chargers win that was valuable. Yes, you beat a rookie Bo Nix, but other than that, who have you beaten? This was a game to show me prime time who you can beat. You've beaten the bad teams, and you've lost to every good team except the Broncos, in my opinion. And I think the Broncos are still up and coming right now.
Except the Broncos. I like when you put that.
They beat the Broncos. They beat the Broncos, and
they beat a good team. Okay.
The only decent team that's a positive record is the Denver Broncos. But other than that, they've lost to the Cardinals, they've lost to the Ravens, they lost to the Steelers, and they lost to the Chiefs. All their other wins are against bad opponents.
They beat the Bengals. You got bird time.
The Bengals don't have a good record this year.
Right, but you still believe in them. And
if you really watch that game, Joe Burrow sent his team 2 times to kick a field goal to win the game. That's on. That's more on McPherson.
And I don't know. Cleveland and Tennessee look frisky.
Like I said, I haven't seen a good team they have beaten in their season, and I'm ready to see one. I really do.
I mean, that's what I said about the Bengals. I didn't like that take, but I said the same thing, which is true. But all right,
the Bengals are suffering because of their defense.
But they have been a good team. Is all I was saying, and y'all didn't like that. But anyway, so let's go on.
They can't beat anybody because their defense.
Yeah, Jake made a good point. And the sad part about the Bengals, man, is this, man. You got a guy who's putting up great numbers in Burrow with the record. The record doesn't speak any volumes, man. He lying, man. Jake, I think you're gonna sweep the Chargers, Jake. Broncos.
How they gonna sweep them? They already lost one. They can't sweep them.
Well, you'll win the next one, Jake. You'll win the next one.
Hey, I will say this, Ken. I'm rooting for y'all this weekend.
Why you throwing shade on that, man?
I'm rooting for y'all this weekend against the Chargers.
Why you throwing
shade this weekend, right?
Flo, you throwing shade. You throwing shade on Jake. I mean, Jake made a great prediction. He said
he's very shadeable. He's very shadeable.
He be hating on him.
I'm saying he's shadeable. All right, so let's we want to talk about all these let's talk about next week this coming week. Normally we only have one Thursday night game, but we have 3 Thursday night games with Thanksgiving, and we have a Friday night game as well, which involves Omar's Raiders and the Chiefs, so we're gonna have to talk about that one. But we want to talk about all these Thursday games real fast. Probably focus more on maybe the Dolphins and Packers, because the Dolphins trying to make a run now. And the Packers trying to keep pace with that. The other teams in their division. Let's talk about Bears Lions, and then let's just do Cowboys Giants, because that game doesn't mean as much per se. What do you got, Ken? Giants at the Cowboys. My lowly Cowboys keep losing home games, but this might be one they can pull out. I don't know.
Man, Flo, the Cowboys. The Cowboys gonna win this game. It ain't gonna be a blowout, man. It'll probably be 20-27. Cowboys win at home, close game. It would be a crime if the Cowboys lose on Thanksgiving at home. It'd be a crime. So I got them winning 20-27 and close. 20-27 close game. I was gonna hit the other game too, man, but I think Detroit probably gonna blow the Bears out, bro, on Thanksgiving. That'll be a blowout.
Talk about those 2 games then. Go ahead, Omar.
Go ahead, Omar.
Detroit game and Dallas
Cowboys. Game. The Cowboys better win at home for the first time ever, if they want to salvage their season and have any hopes of a playoff shot, which is probably very unlikely. But if they win out, it's a possibility, I guess. So they better hope so, especially at home, because they never won there since like 1974. But the Lions, the Lions could crush the Browns.
What are you talking about?
They haven't
always throwing shade on me, man. You always shade on me. Everybody. You know
everybody.
And yeah, he's right. The Lions should crush the Bears. I've got the Lions by 10, at least 10. That's the spread.
10 up
you know
there.
what? I'll take the Lions by 14. I'll take the Lions 28-14 Bears, and I'll take the Cowboys at home in a close, let's say 21-17 over the Giants.
Wow. Go ahead, take Jake.
Well, I'll go Cowboys. I think the move this week there was last week, but I think Dayball went upstairs and told them, guys, I'm tired of playing with an average quarterback. And I think they approved him to get the worst quarterback on their depth chart to start. And I think they're tanking from here on out behind closed doors. I think they've all accepted that, and they're going to go and try to get Shador or Cam. So I think Dallas will win that game. I'm going to say 27-24. I also believe the Lions will destroy the Bears. I'm going to go – it'll be a little closer, I think, though, honestly, because the defense that Eberflus does play, he plays a good defense. I'll go 28-21. 28-21, Lions win.
And a close going in for Dallas too? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I just think the Giants are tanking. They're done.
Okay, that's fair. I'll take the Cowboys just because we both don't have a quarterback, and I think we got a slightly better quarterback. And we're getting a little bit healthier on defense. Micah Parsons has been back for a few weeks and finally got Bland back. So that's a big plus for us. Deron Bland hasn't played all year, so it'll take him another game to get healthy. I don't even know when DeMarcus Lawrence is coming back or if he's ever coming back. So we'll see what happens there. And I guess another good point, I like the way TJ Bass and Hoffman have been playing on the offensive line. A little bit better continuity on the offensive line. And we need that with Cooper Rush has no mobility. So, and as far as I think I like Jake's. I think Jake is correct in that it's going to be a closer game. Caleb Williams has looked better in the last few games. After changing offensive coordinators, the last few games, he's looked a lot better. He threw a 300 yards in the last game. Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be a closer game. I kind of like your score right now. I'm going to say it's going to be probably a higher scoring game. And that's kind of games that Lions like to play. So probably 30-27, something like that. All right, what about the Dolphins and Packers? This has a little more playoff implications as far as for both teams. Dolphins trying to stay on pace for the last wild card spot. Only 3-point underdogs on the road in Packerland. Canteen, go around the horn. What do you got here?
I'm going 30-17, man. 30-17. Packers win at home, man. It's hard for Tua. Any of them Dolphins guys in that cold weather, man. It's hard to play in that cold weather at Lambeau. 17-30. 17-30, man.
17-30?
17
to 30?
We would have beat the Chiefs.
17-30. Yep, 17-30, bro.
Okay. What do you got?
Yeah, Canteen's right. Canteen hit it right on the head. The Dolphins have not proved that they can play in cold weather. It's supposed to be below 30 degrees at 7:20 p.m. So I'm going to take the Packers at home. Let's go ahead and say it's going to be a closer one. I'll say let's go Packers 24-21.
Okay.
J Love Live, man. I believe in J Love Live. Also, the Dolphins, they're like a sports car, and in cold weather, sports cars don't do well.
That's pretty good.
I'm calling a spade on it. I don't think Tua can shine in cold weather. I think the Dolphins are not as good whenever it gets a little cold outside. They're used to their sunny side. I think they'll lose this one, probably a close one, 19-16.
Okay. We'll do my Flow's favorites and make my final picks. But right now, I'm leaning Dolphins right now. I know they don't play well in the cold weather. I think that could be a thing. And I think this will be a lower scoring game just because of that. The Dolphins defense is playing a lot better lately. Obviously that offense plays better with Tua as their starting quarterback. They play a lot better. And so their offense has been playing pretty well. And, Packers have had some close ones. They had a close one against the Texans, a close one against Jacksonville. They lose against the Lions. So, I mean, they haven't looked great in a few weeks. And Jordan's made a few crazy interceptions, pick sixes, and so Jordan Love is not playing that well this year. If you look at his stats, I think he's got an 80-something passer rating, which is one of the lowest for a starter.
9-3.
Supposedly, I know what the record is. I'm not just saying he hasn't been playing that well, and he's made a couple.
Not
of
only
crazy
that, they relied the past 2 games on Josh Jacobs, and that's another thing.
Okay, well, if they rely on Josh Jacobs and don't have Jordan Love try and win the game, that's fine. Then maybe they'll pull this one out.
Well, running in the cold, that's what you need to do.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see what they do. Hopefully, I'm leaning towards the Dolphins in a close one, maybe an ugly one, maybe like a 19-16 kind of game. We'll see what happens. All right, Friday, Raiders at the Chiefs. Chiefs 12 point. They're not going to cover.
Pick me.
We'll let Omar go first on this one, and then Ken, and then Jake. Friday night game, one of the first Friday night games of the year. Go ahead, Omar.
No, actually, I'll let the other guys go first.
Go, Ken. Just go in the same order.
Man, I really want to say an upset in this game, man. I want to say the. Here's what I'm gonna say based off of what I
say it with your chest, player.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Here's what I'm gonna say, guys.
10 toes down, sucker.
And based off what I saw Sunday, the way the Carolina Panthers played against the Chiefs have been winning only because of their defense. Their offense is horrible.
They gave up almost 30 points. How they win because of their defense?
Oh, the Carolina.
I'm just saying. You said their defense. They've been winning because of their defense, but they scored 30 points and they gave up 27.
I'll say this right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 34-27. I like the Raiders.
34-27 Raiders?
Upset.
Okay.
If they're gonna lose, they might as well lose now.
They've already lost.
They might as well lose now.
They've already lost one. Well, go ahead, Ken. That's good. Go ahead, Omar. I know you like the upset pick. Are you going to do the same?
I want to go last. Go ahead, Jake. Go
ahead.
Okay. Jake wants to go last. Do you want me to go first too, Omar? You going to go last?
What was that? Yeah, I
want to go last. Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead, Jake.
I'll go. I hate both these teams. They both are suck to me. But
of course, you hate them both. Jeez. We all know that.
If I'm rooting for one, I'll go for Raiders. Here's why: I can't stand the Chiefs. If the Raiders are going to win this game,
pure hate. It's all hate.
If I gotta go Raiders, I have to make it. It cannot be a high scoring game. I don't think y'all have Minshew's out for good, right? His collarbone's broken.
Yeah, he's done.
So
Desmond Ritter.
Desmond
Ritter. No. It's gonna be Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
O'Connell's injured for the year.
Oh, your old guy.
O'Connell's out for the year too.
Desmond Ritter. Oh man, I didn't know that.
So Desmond the Riddler might actually solve a puzzle and will win this game against the Chiefs. I'm gonna go 17-14 upset.
17-14. Wow.
Got to be a close one. Has to be close and low scoring for them to win.
Yeah, it has to be close and low scoring for sure. Yeah, the
maybe
Chiefs
a fake
defense.
punt. They try to do that on us. They got it. Piece of trashes. For a game, it was a game there, and then Denver, Bo Nix had to show you the
I'll let
best
Omar
rookie
go
they
last.
could.
This is his team, so yeah. Chiefs have been winning by they haven't won. They have the lowest point differential in the NFL right now, but they won most of them. Except for against the Bills, and they had a close one against the Carolina, and they've been giving up too many points as a defense the last few games. 24 to the Bucks, only 14 to Denver, but they gave up 21 to Buffalo. They gave up 30 to Buffalo and then 27 to Carolina. So that defense is scaring me a little bit. And the Raiders have played pretty decent. They just have been losing. They lost 20-15 to the Rams, and that close game, as I mentioned, to the Chiefs. And then they just didn't have enough offense for Cincinnati, and Cincinnati was desperate for a win. And they lose a somewhat close one, 29-19 to Denver. They've been playing pretty good overall. They've been in most of these games, but without their starting quarterback, man, I can't see them winning this game. I think it will be a lower scoring game. I think the Kansas City defense tries to show up and flex their muscles a little more. They were playing pretty good up to the last couple few weeks. So I'm going to go, it's going to be a kind of an ugly game. I'm going to go 20-17 Kansas City pulls out another close one. What do you got, Omar?
Well, let me tell you something, brothers. See, these games in the cold, in Kansas City, in the grime and the grit. This is where the Raiders bring their commitment to excellence. Okay?
Ooh.
This is where the Raiders just win,
you need rougher music here. Go ahead.
Just yeah, there you go. Give it.
Here we go.
All right. Awesome.
There we go.
Just like that. And shout out to my boy Ramiro, who took me to Kansas City. We went and saw the Raiders beat Kansas City on a very cold Thanksgiving weekend. 10-6. It was a horrible, low-scoring game. This will be the same. We always upset the Chiefs on these games around the holidays at their house. It just always happens. As you just heard, I was at one of those games, front row with my boy. Shout out Ramiro. We win this game. And the funny part is, I have the same exact score as Jake. 17-14. Desmond Ritter leads the Raiders.
Wow. Desmond Ritter.
Ruining the Chiefs Thanksgiving weekend and sending all of their barbecue upstream, just like we should have. Those ponies last weekend, but we let them get away with a victory. We should have beat them too. They're lucky that Gardner Minshew got injured, or we would have won that game.
Oh, stop that.
Hey, Omar, will you take over getting some of these good games? I got my producer calling. I gotta take a phone call, but can you get some of these games here, and I'll be back in a few.
Yes, I got.
Yo, are you a real Broncos fan?
That's
He
what
scares
said.
the hell out of me back there. How the hell is that?
He said, "I'm a Broncos fan." Here, see.
No, but did you see how he put I'm scared of Bo Nix? That he's scared. He's improved every week. Every single week he's improved.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he has gotten better.
That's the rookie of the year, bro. The rookie of the year right there.
From the ashes. Rest in power.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be a surprise if we lost for real, though. But I'm calling a win, so let's go. That being said, hey, y'all see how Flo got called out by his producer, right? Did y'all see the other day when Flo was commenting on me and Clever D's show? We were going back and forth on our show, and Flo was commenting, and apparently his wife, the lovely Patricia, was looking for him, and so she got in the comments, and she was like, Alberto Flores.
Answer your phone.
Answer your phone.
I saw that.
Over here.
That was hilarious.
I forgot about that. I got to clip that moment and put it up as a short. Anyways, all right, let's move into this. Chargers and your Falcons canteen. Big game for both teams. Both teams need a win to keep them in the playoff hunt, especially the Falcons. What do you think?
Man, the Falcons will redeem themselves at home, man. A much needed win, man, because like I said, the NFC South, we're in neck and neck contention with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm gonna go in a close game, man. I'm gonna go 24-27. The Falcons win by a field goal.
Yeah, that's a good score. I like that. I agree. I think the Chargers, after losing last week, I think that's going to send them down a little bit of a losing rut here, especially playing at the Falcons at home. The Falcons desperately need this game. The Chargers are 2.5 favorites here as a road favorite, which is weird. But I guess they think that John Harbaugh really has something going there. But I didn't like Justin Herbert's performance this past weekend. I'm going with the Falcons by 3 as well as Canteen said, but I'll go 24-21 Falcons. Jake.
My head's telling me the Chargers. My heart wants the Falcons. Here is the thing, though, that benefits the Falcons. They did have a bye week.
They did have a bye.
So they were able to watch and sit down on Monday night and watch that game themselves. Every one of them. Kirk, you got paid for these games right here. You're in desperate tier mode. You lose this game, the Bucs can now run from under you and take over that division if you lose this game. It's a must win.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to say Kirk pulls it off. I think this is a super high scoring game. I think both defenses play poorly. I'm going 38-42.
Wow.
38-42. I think this is a matchup of it is a good game. It's going to be a good high scoring game.
Wow, 80 points and the spread is 47.5. Everybody.
Yep.
whatever that means to you. Let's move on to the Cardinals versus the Vikings. Cardinals 6-5 going to visit the Vikings in Minnesota, 9-2. Minnesota is a 3.5 favorite here, with the spread being 45.5 points. Canteen, what are your thoughts about the Vikings playing the Cardinals at their house in Minnesota?
Man, Minnesota has had a great season. Sam Darnold has done a great job. Aaron Jones has done a great job. And Jefferson, Minnesota has looked great. Here's the thing, the NFC North, man, you got 3 teams. And I think that division is probably going to have 3 teams that come out of that division that makes the playoffs. I think it's going to come down to the wire between the Minnesota Vikings and then Detroit. But Detroit looks like a completely great team at this point in the season. I'm going to go Minnesota. I'll go Minnesota 34, Arizona 20. I think that Minnesota can put up some big numbers on this game at home.
I agree with you about the victory at home. I don't know if it'll be that big of a blowout, but I do think Minnesota will win. I don't agree with you on the Detroit thing. I think Detroit is by far the worst.
They have already won it outright.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I mean, technically the records may not say that they've won it outright already, but in my eyes, they have. In my eyes, they're the much better team. I'm surprised Minnesota's even made it this far with Sam Darnold. Yeah. I expect that to continue. I'm still waiting for Cinderella to meet her pumpkin or to turn back into a pumpkin, her carriage. So we'll see. I forgot how that story went. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm taking Minnesota at home. I'll take let's say 28-24.
I'm going to go Vikings as well. Here's the thing. And they're playing the Cardinals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. And I knew this. Kyler had a perfect opportunity this past week to get a lead in the division.
Right.
And put all those other teams with 6 losses and him stay at 4. Instead, he dropped the ball. I can't trust him no more, in my opinion. This is over and over and over again. So Minnesota will win this game. Kyler is overhyped. I honestly believe the Cardinals should start thinking of QB changes in the end.
Really? Wow, okay.
I do think so. I think it's time to move on. If he can't get you this win, because if not now, that head coach is going to be gone too, and he's not a bad one. He was the defensive coordinator for the Eagles. What's his name? John McCannon or something like that? He's not bad.
I don't remember. Oh, John Gannon. John Gannon.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah. So, in the end,
I don't know that I agree with that, because he's just coming off an ACL injury, so they still probably should give him one more year, I think.
Man, come on, Omar. There's so many years, man.
I mean, hey, he's not that bad of a quarterback. He's had some outstanding performances this year.
Yeah,
and
he's done decent.
And just a couple weeks ago, some people were talking about him possibly being an MVP candidate. So let's not get too crazy here.
I think there's going to be teams up there that in the draft will not need a quarterback, that it will be like the Jags, other teams like that. I think if I'm the Cardinals, I trade up to get a Cam Ward. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe they do. They're going to have to get rid of him and trade. Somebody's going to trade for Kyler Murray. So we'll
absolutely. I think he'll be tradable.
Last game of the weekend, so we can wrap this up. Eagles versus Ravens. Eagles are traveling into Baltimore. Baltimore is a 3-point favorite with a 50.5 spread. Canteen, what are your thoughts on this epic game we got?
I got to go Philly, man. Philly, man. And the reason I'm going to go Philly, man, Philly's on a high, man. They started out kind of rocky, but they picked up. They've got some composure. They're ahead of themselves. They're doing really, really good. Hurts is doing good. Barkley's doing good. AJ, they look good on both sides of the ball. This is going to be a close game. Both are outdoor teams, but it's in Baltimore. I like a 30-27. Eagles win by 3. Going to be close.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Mine was going to be 31-27, but I got it the other way. I got the Ravens at home. I think Ravens hold home serve here. I do believe that both of these teams are great teams that are going to do really well rest of the year, even going into the playoffs. But I do think that the Ravens, after a big positive win over the Chargers last night, do carry that momentum, hold home serve here against the Eagles. they're going to have to take another loss at some point, it looks like anyway. So, and then, so I got the Ravens. I'll go, like I said, 31-27. Jake?
I'm going to go Eagles, and here's why.
Yeah.
I think Lamar's due for a loss in the NFC. Lamar has one loss in the NFC his whole career.
Yep.
And who was that to? Daniel Jones and the Giants. I think it stays in the NFC East. I think the Eagles are the second team who make Lamar fall in the NFC. I'm going Eagles win 27-20. And I think my boy Saquon shows Derrick Henry who the real number one running back in the league is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely can see that. Champ is chiming in. He says Kyler Murray's that type of player. He needs a coach to put that boot in his ass, and he can turn it up a notch. I agree with that completely. But I still
that pick six was just terrible to watch.
Yeah,
and you still got Marvin Harrison Jr. too. I give him one more year together just to see. Champ says I'm a Broncos fan, but I'm not totally sold on him. Thank God for Peyton. It's more coaching than the player. In my opinion, he has improved, as Jake said, the last few weeks. Yeah, we can say that he's improved. I don't know that I would give it to Sean Payton's coaching. He's not that great of a coach.
Oh, you're hating on him. Don't hate on my boy.
All right, let me stop. All right. Anyways, we like hating on each other here at The Bottom Line Sports. Make sure you join our Facebook group at The Bottom Line Sports. We talk a bunch of trash, post a bunch of sports news. You will never be bored in that group. So again, at The Bottom Line Sports on Facebook. Also, make sure you check out Hot Take Jake and his new awesome, fantastic podcast with him and his boys been going at it. It is called The Final Say Podcast. You can find that on YouTube. By the way, we got to get together. Jake, when I get back home this week, I want to talk to you about some SEO things that can help your channel out by putting more like descriptions and keywords in your social media profile. So we'll talk about that later.
Appreciate that, brother.
Yes, sir. And then finally, don't forget to always check out Ball and Buds, BALLAND BUDS on YouTube. Please subscribe as well. Follow on Instagram. You can watch all of our shows on both of those, and as well you can watch it on The Bottom Line. But tomorrow we'll be having just a Ball and Buds exclusive Banter Brawls and Bravado number 8. We're going to have two of our old friends. Me and Clubber D are going to welcome in two old friends that we've had since childhood. One is a comedian on the comic tour right now down in the Virginia Beach area, and another one that is running a Black enthusiast meetup group that has done record numbers for meetup groups around the world, including San Antonio last year. So check that out. It should be a fun one. We're just going to talk about what they're doing with their new projects and just make fun of each other like we would have when we were 5 years old. So it should be pretty funny. And other than that, you know where to find us at The Bottom Line Sports and all your other channels. Anybody else got anything to add before we get out of here?
I think that's it, fellas. I don't know if you guys will be back Sunday. I think we're going to try to close it out Sunday with hit the Thursday night, Friday games, and then cover everything that we went over Sunday when we do the surge, man. But other than that, man, you guys enjoy your families, enjoy your holiday, man. Finally eat some good food and enjoying friends and family, man.
Yeah, man, that's a beautiful note to end on. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We love you. We out.
All right, fellas. Peace, man.